Hi, it's Carrie. In this Methods Monday, I wanted to talk a little bit about systematic and scoping review protocols and why you should do them. And I'm going to point to some specific guidance. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Cochrane Handbook is seen as a best practice even if you are not doing a Cochrane review. So we can use that as guidance. I'm at the Cochrane Handbook page and I'm going to open the online handbook. And then here in planning a Cochrane review, it's in part 1, section 2. It talks about planning the review and assembling the team. And finally at 2.1.4 Cochrane protocols. So it walks you through the reasons why you would want a protocol. And part of that reason is to assist in planning and reduce the risk of bias in the review process. And it talks about it more in chapter 1, section 1.5. So this is done so that the process doesn't change based on what you find during the review. Now we're in section 1.5, protocol development. So again, they mention to minimize bias, to assist in planning, and it is important that the methods used should be established and documented in advance. And then if we look at MESR, which is the methodological expectation for Cochrane intervention reviews, it talks about planning the search and why it should be planned ahead, and planning the assessment of the risk of bias. And again, it mentions it helps you to inform your key priorities for moving forward, planning the synthesis of results and the subgroup analysis and the assessment. And then it points you to where you can register your protocol for a systematic review. So it's called Prospero, and it can be found at crd.york.ac.uk/Prospero. It accepts systematic reviews, rapid reviews, and umbrella reviews. It does not accept scoping reviews or literature scans. But you can log in and register your reviews. If you click on how to register, you'll be directed on how to register your systematic review protocol and what happens along the way. Highly recommend doing this for transparency, reproducibility, and good practice. That's the Cochrane Handbook. The JBI Manual for Evidence Synthesis also discusses why systematic and scoping review authors should have a protocol, and again points them to Prospero. Members of JBI organizations can register in a JBI register. It looks like this, and there's even a template. So maybe the template is going to be helpful to you even if you're not doing a JBI review. It is certainly worth looking over. They also have a section in chapter 11.2 on the scoping review protocol. So if you're not doing a systematic review, but rather a scoping review, they give you some detail here. And because Prospero doesn't accept scoping review protocols, it points you to the OSF framework, which looks like this, and Figshare, which both allow you to register your scoping review protocol. Finally, the National Academy's Standards for Systematic Reviews talks at great length about the protocol, why, and the publication of the protocol. And I'm not going into a lot of detail here, but the basic premise is to avoid bias and to set out your plan from the start so that along the way things don't change. You don't say, oh, we found this literature which wasn't what we expected, so we're going to change our inclusion and exclusion criteria halfway through the project. That's not how systematic reviews work. It's not how scoping reviews work. So I do encourage you to read all of these. I'll link them in the video description below. And in order to do your protocol, I'll just note that JBI does offer protocol templates, not just here for the systematic review, but also in their scoping review resources page. So the chapter 11 for scoping reviews and the template for scoping reviews. So it downloads as a Word file, and then all you have to do is follow the template. Now, another very important piece of information before you move on today is the PRISMA statement, the preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analyses. They have a number of extensions, and one of those extensions is specifically for protocols. You can read more about that here, and you can check the checklist and make sure that you are fulfilling all of these criteria when it comes to writing up your protocol and reporting your protocol. And if I can make a plea on behalf of all medical librarians and searching librarians and methodologists everywhere, it is to please invest your time in writing a protocol, provide your librarian and methodologist with the protocol at the start of the project, and allow your librarian and methodologist to review your protocol and to contribute to the methods. That's what they're there for. And we don't want you to write the search methods on your own because you probably don't know what you're doing. But that's okay because we don't do clinical medicine, or at least I don't. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.